Do your knees ache when you stand up, when you try to walk, or maybe even going downstairs? Everything just aches.
Yeah, I can agree, Mike. I've experienced that and had many patients, and it's almost always the excuse or the reason it's got to be arthritis in that knee, which is possible. But
today we're going to go over 6 hidden causes that could be causing your knee pain, and we're going to show you some stretches, some exercises, massaging tips, as well as looking at your walking pattern.
That's right, and they are clinically tested.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Welcome to the Bob and Brad channel. We are the most famous physical therapy team on the internet.
Well, in our opinion, of course, Mike.
And if you're new to our channel and like this video, please subscribe.
There you go. Please subscribe. I like to say it twice.
Now, we would like to mention that this video is all based on the work of physical therapist Rick Olderman. He taught us a lot about this, and we have started integrating it into our daily practices with some of our patients.
That's right. Rick has not only used these techniques on patients for 20 years, he's also written books about it for other PTs and patients.
I think 30 years now. He
Wow.
told me he's 60. I did not believe it when he told me that. Anyway.
Yeah, he looks like he's 59.
We digressed a bit. So the first thing we're actually going to look at, tip number 1, is your walking pattern. This has been very beneficial for a lot of people we have seen, is just looking at their walking mechanics. So most people, when they walk, they land with their foot far out in front of them, a heel strike pattern. And if you look at your knee, or my knee specifically, it is straight, it is locked out. It's going to absorb a lot of the pressure or shock. Now, you may not feel this because when you're walking, you're just doing a little step. It doesn't hurt too bad. But if you keep walking like this and you're doing 10,000 steps a day, all those little micro pressures are going to add up, and it's going to start putting some discomfort in your knee.
Micro pressures.
Micro pressures.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is one of those things where actually we've done this with a real patient in our studio with knee pain. She changed her walking pattern, and she said, her face just lit up. It's like, it doesn't hurt when she did the soft knee walking versus the normal way she has been walking forever.
So what we want to do is take a smaller step, have a nice bent knee, and what this does is it puts the pressure into your muscles, engages your glute max to start firing again, and this will take some of the shock absorption off of your joints, put them into the muscles where they should go, and if your glutes are firing properly when you're walking, it's going to have a lot less pain in your knees.
There you go. Easy to do it and easy to try out and see how it works.
If you're not sure if your glutes are firing, walk normal with your hands on your buttock. If they're not firing, try going on the opposite on your tiptoes for about 10 steps and then flatten down to a normal flat foot walking pattern and just feel them engage, and it should hopefully take some pressure off your knees.
Yeah, and if, he's using that term firing, some people may not understand it. It's that the muscles are engaging, they're contracting, and put your hands and sometimes your fingertips into those glutes so you can feel it. Just, squeeze your butt together so you really get in tune with your body.
Problem number 2 is that you may have tight hip flexor muscles. We have a nice pink piece of tape here roughly demonstrating where the hip flexor anatomy runs from. So you want to talk about it a little bit, Brad?
Right. It's deep inside the abdominal cavity, and when it flexes, it makes your hip flex, and that's a very integral part of walking to move your foot forward.
So if you have tight hip flexors, it can cause some knee pain, low back pain. It actually tilts your pelvis. So in order to test for tight hip flexors, what you're going to do is lie on your back off the edge of something firm. If your bed is firm enough, you could try it there. Kitchen table will possibly work if you're able to get up on there. And you're going to bring both knees to your chest and drop one side down. Say this is the side that is bothering me. If I can only drop down this far, my hip flexors are tight. You want to be able to get in a neutral position or possibly beyond that. Now, in order to really test, bring your opposite knee up towards your chest, and you'll see I'm coming up a bit here. And to really stretch your rectus femoral femoris muscle, you want to bend your knee, and you may notice some tightness again. If this one is tight, it could really be causing some knee discomfort as well.
Yeah, the rectus femoris actually connects to the kneecap all the way up to your pelvis. So when you do that, oftentimes you don't feel the tightness up here, but the whole length here, and that's how you can determine that.
Now, in order to stretch it out, a safe way most people can do it is what I'm doing now, and you just hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. Try to keep your leg in a nice straight line. Don't let it venture out to the side. Do one side, and then you can test to see if the other side is tight as well. Maybe spend a little more time on the tight side, but I would do 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 30 second holds with this. And I need to stretch these more. I'm feeling kind of tight today.
You're looking a little tight, Mike, but at least you know how to do it.
Issue number 3 that may be causing your knee pain is actually tight calf muscles. When your calf muscles are tight, they can pull on the knee, compromising how you walk in your mechanics, making more stress put on your tendons and ligaments.
There you go. It's like, the knee bone's connected to the ankle bone and so on and so forth. Everything works with each other. When one of the links get weak or tight, it can affect all the others.
So there's a couple ways you can stretch your calf muscles. You can do it standing, long sitting, using a slant board or wedge. A basic one anyone can do is just go up to a wall, railing, countertop, hold on, put one leg behind you. This is the calf I'm going to be stretching. My foot is going to go straight ahead. I'm not turning out to the side. And you're going to hold for 15 to 30 seconds. I don't feel a stretch now. Lean forward. You'll start feeling a stretch. Or if you're stuck against a stationary object, just bring your foot back. Hold this for roughly 20, 30 seconds. To get the other calf muscle, because you have 2 on each side, to isolate the soleus, bend your knee a bit, and you're going to feel it in a different area, kind of deeper than the first stretch. And just make sure to do both sides. And that's a simple way you can stretch. What are you going to do over there?
Well, I wanted to show for people who have difficulty or balance, or maybe they're unable to do that. You can do it lying down, and you mentioned a belt, so you can take a belt. Now this, you should have a shoe on, and you could do it in a long seated position like this in a bed, and simply pull, relax, keep your knees straight, a little bend to get the soleus. It works fine. Or you can do it lying down like this. Now, this also gets the hamstring as well. So if you bend your knee, the hamstring does not stretch so much. You get more ankle. So I would say that is a more complete, more aggressive stretch. But this is good if that's not an option for you.
Another thing you can try, now stretching like this can benefit some people. However, some others may just have chronic calf tightness. So a night splint is something you can use. This one's just from Mars Wellness, MARS, just something from Amazon.
Not the planet.
Not the planet. It didn't come from the planet. Anyway, you just put this on your foot at night when you're sleeping, or if you're seated or laying down for a prolonged period of time. Now, it's not going to actually stretch your calves. It's just going to keep them in a nice neutral position when you are sleeping at night. So you put it on, make sure it's not too tight or too aggressive. Most of the time, it'll feel good when you go to bed, but when you wake up, your calf might feel a little stiff. If you look when I'm lying down here,
Let's get this
it's a nice neutral position. Or my other foot, can I show my other foot?
Well, I just want to really emphasize the neutral position, which keeps the calf not allowed to actually shrink.
So I'm not feeling a stretch right now. It feels fine. But my other foot naturally is going to plantar flex or push down like this when I'm sleeping, especially if you're a stomach sleeper. It really pushes you into that position.
And the covers actually put a little weight on there as well.
Yeah. So what this does is it's going to shorten your calf muscles, putting them under constant contraction all night.
But don't sleep with your shoes on.
We can if you want.
Well,
Maybe you're camping and your feet are cold. Anyway, this can definitely help. I oftentimes, when I would wear it initially, when I had some ankle issues, it gets uncomfortable after a while when you wake up and try to fall back asleep. So sometimes maybe putting it on when you wake up in the middle of the night, if you know you always do, and putting it on then. I, however, am very lazy when I'm sleepy and wake up, and I'm not going to put it on personally. So I would just put it on before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. It can also help with things like plantar fasciitis too. So that's just something you can try.
Yeah, it really is a common help, if you will, for plantar fasciitis. All right, now what do we go to next? Tension?
The
And
next.
the Popliteus muscle.
Popliteus. So this is tip number 4. So looking at your poplit, where's my leg? Here's my leg. Well, this is Sam's leg. Mine's still connected to my body.
It's a small muscle that has a big job in regards to walking and knee mechanics.
So this pink tape is really the popliteus muscle. It's not quite that wide, but it runs from the outside of your femur down to the backside of your tibia or shin bone. So this is the back of the knee.
I almost fell.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, here over to here, right where the hand is.
So it helps with your knee ability to go into terminal knee extension. It also has a little bit of a rotation component. But on some people, this gets very tight, especially if you stand all day with a locked or straight knee. Maybe you are even hyperextended, meaning you can go backwards like that. You're putting a lot of tension on that all day long.
Look at those quads.
And if you... Yeah, they're pasty white. And if you walk with the heel strike, you're constantly putting pressure on it. So on some people, it can get very tight. So you actually need to massage that area. If it is tender and tight, you will notice by just digging back behind your knee into that region, and you will feel it. You normally don't want your knee locked out straight. You want about a 30-degree bend, we say, to dig in there correctly, put the muscle on a little slack, and you will feel that area if it is tender.
Yeah. So work in there with your fingers and, get it. Probably a minute or two should be good. You could use a massage gun if you don't want to fatigue your fingers if you got arthritis.
You can also roll on a ball if you want. Whatever works for you, you have to get on the ground for that. But having about a 30-degree bend, getting in there and digging in, it's less aggressive with the round head versus a bullet head when you're digging in there with those massagers. But it's just a good option.
Yeah. I prefer to use the term mobilize the muscle versus digging in.
I often will take my fingers and just press in there and then kind of almost do cross friction against it.
Right. Yeah, that cross friction can be helpful.
Right here, for people that are kind of curious, you'll feel the tendon when you hit it. So.
All right. Very good. So a popliteus muscle, little one, easy treatment, by the way.
Next is number 5 is relating to hip weakness. If your hips are weak, specifically, we're going to talk about hip abductors, abductors. There's your spelling exam for the day. If these muscles are weak, what they can do is cause some people even knee cave or knock knees. Some people will have a waddle walk if these are very weak. So we need to strengthen up the lateral hip musculature. There's lots of different exercises you can do. One we'll kind of show, which is beneficial, is to use a band. And you can grab a large band like this. You can grab a little loop band like this. I'm dropping them all now. Use whatever you have available to you. And you can do this standing. So if I'm using this band, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to put some tension by pulling the band up, and then I'm going to kick out sideways. If you are so weak and this is hard, don't even use a band. First, you want to make sure you can stand, kick sideways, hold your foot out with good control, go back and forth 10 to 15 times, and then you can switch sides. Make sure you're not swaying too much. Make sure your foot isn't rotating out to the side. That's a different muscle group. We're going to stand tall, neutral pelvis, 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 3 sets per side. To add resistance, just use a band like this, or you can use a loop band around your ankles or your knees where Brad has it, and you can do it that way. The standing one is beneficial because the leg standing also gets fatigued.
Right, because you can strengthen this muscle lying down on your side, but you don't get the weight-bearing benefit. And I think if this is, you get more bang for your buck, you get a little more actual strengthening that relates to function. So, like, you can go to the knees. If I shift this down to my ankles, that makes a tremendous difference on the resistance. So anywhere in between, it's kind of an
something to keep in mind is your stance leg. Try not to have it locked out like we talked about earlier. Just have a little bend in those knees and then do it. It's going to make your muscles work a little bit harder.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Now, the last exercise we're going to talk about is the glute max, or your buttock. Your buttock is a big, strong, powerful muscle, and when you're walking, using it is going to take a lot of stress off of your joints, your hip, your knee, and your ankle joints. So like we talked about earlier, try some tiptoe gluteal walking initially. Make sure your glutes are firing well. However, if you want to do an exercise to try to strengthen them, there are lots of different options. We're just going to do one Rick recommends specifically. It's the glute pump. We're going to go on hands and knees first, but we'll show you a standing version. because some people with knee pain don't like kneeling. So in order to do this, I'm on a soft surface. It might be kind of hard to do on your bed. You may have to go on the ground. I'm going to go on my elbows, and then if I'm doing my left glute, I'm going to kick it up. So normal glute pump people think is kicking up and coming back down. This does work your glute, but it also works some other muscles. To isolate it, we'll go kind of in between, rotate the foot in, and then we'll do some oscillations, about 30 of them total. Do it however you want. You can do 3 sets of 10, 2 15, all 30 at once, and make sure to do it on both sides. If you feel like you're getting good glute engagement, you don't have to rotate your foot in like this. You can keep it in the neutral position. And then if you want to add resistance, you can use a hip loop band like Brad had earlier, or you can put a cuff weight around your thighs.
Yeah, I did want to mention if you do have weak glutes, another symptom can be hamstring cramping because the glutes aren't working to extend the hips, so the hamstrings have to do overtime because they can do it not as efficiently. But if you're getting hamstring cramps when you walk or you run, I was getting them when I run, and I solved the problem by working my glute muscles. So again, standing, same motion. On a nice firm cupboard or a piece of furniture, bend the knee at 90 degrees. And again, like Mike mentioned, we're doing short, mid-range motion, not big, long ranges like this. Knees not coming up or you're not going down like this. Body stationary. I like to lock the elbows and just work it like that, 20 to 30 reps. Rotate in to help isolate that glute muscle. Make sure you do both sides so you don't run or walk in circles.
Now, I would check all 6 of these things, try them all out. Oftentimes, people don't just have one of these issues. They have numerous ones. So try them all. If you feel like some of them you need, stick with them. If you don't need some of them, you don't have to do them. But just try them all out. I would say the biggest difference maker for a lot of people is just changing your walking mechanics. Seems to be one of the biggest ones. So.
Right. If your knees hurt when you walk and then you do a soft knee walk and it's like, oh, that feels better, it's a pretty strong indication that you need to work on that because it takes a while to train yourself to walk that way.
If you want to check out more of Rick Olderman's work, you can go to his website, rickolderman.com. It's Olderman, like older man. You can find his programs there, his books there. He will see people remotely online. Obviously, that costs more money, but if you want to work with him individually, you certainly can as well. But if you want to check out more videos on knee pain and you're not sure what's causing it, you can click the video link on the screen.
Olderman. He is a little older now. He turned 60.
Yeah, now that I know he's 60.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice guy and very knowledgeable in the field.
Bob and Brad, the 2 most famous physical therapists on the internet.